That's
Somebody
fabulous.
Ren Fabulous. Huh?
I haven't done that in a while. The Rin Fabulous thing.
Yeah, and you let go of your beard pull, but you don't have the beard for it anymore. So I kind of understand.
I remember the beard pull days.
The beard pull days. Oh, I swear to God, guys,
$3.
$3. Get the beard pull. This was working just a minute ago, and as soon as I pushed the live button, it started bugging out again. So it's not a issue with. We've been sitting here. How long have we been sitting here? Like 30 minutes, chatting.
Yeah, no
20
problems
minutes.
at all.
No problems at all. The moment I clicked the live button on Streamlabs, it ditched the cameras. I'm gonna just fly with it tonight. We're gonna figure something. We're gonna figure a solution out as we get going here. Welcome everybody. We are live for the latest session of Starfinder, our actual play series, here on my YouTube channel. We are joined by our returning party members here. We've got Chen, the cockroach operative, the Sheeran operative, Maverick, the human soldier, and Lysander, the is it? I gotta remember what you are now. I gotta look up
La
your
Shunta.
Lashunta, which is I think you called it a space elf.
Space elf. Yes, with the antennae.
I have a solution here, which I'm gonna do real quick. I'm just gonna have to resize the window, so give me 2 seconds here. I think that looks okay, to be honest with you. And that is a solution. So as long as I don't have Fantasy Grounds in full screen, it works. All right. So last we had played, you guys in the first session had arrived on Absalom Station and were witness to a attack essentially on the loading dock where you were at. And on that loading dock,
Cool.
what's that?
My notes state. I was wondering if they'd actually save into this game. So
Oh, your notes? Yeah, they should be fine. All right, hang on. It did it again, and I'm trying to figure out why because it was working. All right, I think we're good now. All right. You guys had arrived on the station and on the loading docks had immediately been witness to an attack that was going down, which didn't have anything to do with you, but you still got caught in the crossfire, and your contact with the Starfinder organization, one Duravor Creel, ended up getting taken out, and you guys had to make your way to the Starfinder Society, and from there, you checked in with the leader of the organization or the contact, one of the leaders, and then he had asked you to track down information, and from there you guys had started to work on that. Now, in terms of the research, did you guys take notes on what you, because one of the things I didn't do last week, and I caught this when I was reading through the prep this afternoon, there's actually some experience bonuses awarded depending on what you learned from your investigations when you guys were researching things through the computer system, and then in talking to that, I forget the name of the contact. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
Mr. Patton.
Yeah, it started with a P.
Patton.
It was Patton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Patton. Yep.
And we learned quite a bit. I've got a whole page of notes here.
All right, so let's work our way through the list because it's going to be by section here. In terms of the astral extractions, what did you guys learn about astral extractions?
Astral Extractions was the group that I believe, and my notes aren't that clear, I believe Astral Extractions was the group that hired the Hardscrabble Collective and the ship, the Acreon, to do whatever it was supposed to do before.
Yeah, it looks like they hired the Downside Kings as muscle.
Oh, right.
To intimidate the Hardscrabble Collective. So you guys actually get 400 XP for that. So let me get your characters open here. Go to the party sheet. Go to your XP.
Sure, we learned the nightclub location of the Downside King's leader too, Ferrani Nadaz.
Okay. Yeah, give me 2 seconds here to apply the XP bonus, because the XP bonus is related to you guys learning that they hired. So I believe this is 400 XP. Is it going to be 400 XP? It's probably 400 per. And the other one, I'm going to do something here real quick, guys, because that reward we did that first time, we'll have to go back and do that, because it was supposed to give you guys 600 per, and it split it between the 3 of you. So we're going to do this real quick. We're going to do 400, 400, 400, and award. Okay, perfect. That gave you guys each 400 XP. Now we need to go back really quick to the story index. Caught in the crossfire. Yep, and we got to do this. We'll give you guys and just some housekeeping here, guys. Getting your XP awards accordingly, and then we need to add 2 more of these. Okay.
So how's the weather by all you guys?
Hot. Actually, today wasn't too bad. Today was low 90s, but it's going to be up to 102 on what is today? Wednesday? Yeah, Friday it's going to be 102, but then it's supposed to rain on Sunday. So, all right.
Actually hit the 80s in Wisconsin here.
Yeah, we were 88 here in Denver, so same story.
That's good temps. All right.
Kind of rare in April, so I'm gonna accept it. Usually you don't get that until usually end of May, maybe June, July, August, that area.
All right, so that was what you guys learned about astral extractions. You also learned about. Hang on, I'm reading through here. Okay, that's for astral extractors. Hardscrabble Collective. What did you guys learn about them?
They hired the level 21 crew, Jabaxa Yosoki. Is that right?
Okay.
Jabaxa is a Yosoki, yeah. And they're all about community empowerment.
Yep. So you guys get an award for this one too. Now, technically, that's going to be enough to ding you guys to level 2, but I don't know how to do the leveling process, so we'll handle that at the end of the session probably. That way we don't take up too much time trying to figure that out. The Downside Kings, what did we learn about them?
Was Franny the leader?
That's what
Franny
I got
Nate is or
Yep,
something?
yep. And you learned about the nightclub, but you didn't get beyond the nightclub.
Sounds
Didn't
about
they
it.
control most of the lower levels as well? Something like that.
Yep. You guys get a bonus experience for that one as well.
And then the 21 crew basically controlled level 21.
What else did you learn about? Yeah, what else did you guys learn about the 21st crew?
See themselves as the good guys?
Right. I think you guys only got the first 2 things from them because you learned that they're ran by a Yosoki called Jabaxa. I remember this one because you guys didn't make the rolls to get beyond that, so there's no experience bonus for this one. CD Lower Decks is its territory. Down in the level 21 is their territory. Okay, so no reward for that one. So the question at this point is, where do you want to go from here? Because you have multiple options for which path you choose. We could. You obviously know a little bit about astral extractions. I believe. Plus, this is probably common knowledge. If I remember correctly, like where their corporate offices are, as opposed to the Hardscrabble Collective, who don't have really any corporate office. The Downside Kings, they have a club, and then the level 21 crew um, is you don't know exactly where they are headquartered, but you know that they are found on level 21 of the lower decks. So the question is, where do you want to go?
I got a question for my team. Do you think it's worthwhile to go back to the authorities and see if they can determine who actually killed their contact? Is that worth exploring?
I don't know. I get the impression that the authorities on the station here are a little overtaxed. We could try it because I'm not sure how we approach either one of the gangs either. I think our other option, we could go to the authorities. We can find out what happened with our contacts, see if their investigation went anywhere. We could also see about what ships are going to and from this derelict, and whether or not we couldn't hitch a ride with one of those and go over and take a look for ourselves. So
Have we found out if the Acreon is accessible? Like, is that something we can go to?
That's a good question. Let me look that up real quick. Because that is something I don't actually know an answer to. I would need to look that up.
Well, if we know where the club is, if it's a popular club, I mean, we could go just see what the scene is like there.
yeah,
Because
let's
we
gate crash.
we don't really, yeah, we don't really know where anything else is, so we can just go see what the environment is there.
Yeah, that's Club Fusion. I'm not sure if that's below decks. It would have to be, I would imagine, since they're the downside kings.
I'm just doing a quick read through here real quick, guys. I don't
Mhm.
think you can get out to the ship at this point of the adventure because there's authorities who are preventing unauthorized access to the ship. That's the quick scan I'm reading. No spoilers. You will be getting there eventually, but yeah, right now the authorities have locked it down, so there's no way to get out there through public transportation. So you guys had asked what the question was about the downside kings.
Do we want to hit Club Fusion, or do we want to take a lift down to 21 and see if we can't feel out jump access? The advantage there is they imagine themselves to be the good guys, so we're likely to get a warmer reception if we ask one too many questions.
That's a good theory. But technically, you also shot at them. Hopefully, nobody knows.
True. Yeah.
Hopefully, in the chaos of the dogfight, no one remembers who shot
Yeah.
where.
Well, there weren't any survivors other than us, so I guess it depends on how good that hollow footage is.
It's a good question.
Yeah, well, the 21s died, right?
Yeah, they did get wiped out.
I think I killed one. Yeah, that's
Misfired. Technically, you guys just caught in the crossfire. I don't think anybody actually actively shot at you. It was more like there was random blaster fire happening, and I think some guys got a little trigger happy and went, "Oh, there's somebody over there! Pew pew pew!" And oh shit, maybe that's not our target. At least you hope that was the case.
Did we find out where to find Jabraxa?
I think it's a matter of heading down to 21.
I'm scrolling through here real quick. Yeah, all you know is that based on the role that you guys had, the level 21 crew may be a criminal gang. They're on level 20 of Absalom Station. That's their territory. The gang has been known to hire itself out to defend marginalized and threatened groups or factions. A grizzly Jisoki called Jabax, currently leads them. You don't actually know where they're located in level 21 yet. But I'm sure if you headed down there and asked around, a little bit of research and development, as opposed to with the the Downside Kings, you actually know where the location is of the Fusion Queen, which is the nightclub. So yeah, it's just up to you guys where you want to go first. Or you can also choose to go to the Astral Extraction and try to get information there as well. All three are great options. It's open course, open season at this point.
Well, regardless of which gang we see first, I think we should make Astral Extractions our last trip because they're the ones that are going to be able to answer questions we might form when we talk to the Downside Kings or the level 21 crew.
All right. So you guys want to do 21 Kings or the Fusion first?
21. That's my vote. Let's go there.
All right, 21 it is.
All right,
Sure.
heading down to level 21. So you make your way down through your public transportation and beyond. You make your way to the crowded, rundown lower half of Absalom Station. This is a low-end neighborhood, not quite a slum. Can you guys all roll culture checks, please?
Culture genocide.
Look at that 11 bonus, Jesus. Yeah. Lysander and Chen, you recognize a lot of this graffiti that's sprayed on the walls around here are gang tags that mark this as the territory of the level 21 crew. People are kind of looking at you. You know, you guys you don't stand out like sore thumbs, but you are new faces around. So people are kind of giving you the side eye as you make your way out of the trams and onto the streets. You guys are actively looking around. That's sort of what you see. It's not quite a slum, definitely scruffy compared to the upper decks. And where you go from here is up to you. You're definitely in the right place, though, based on the graffiti.
Does the graffiti have dominant colors?
It does not say. So,
I'd just be curious if there were any uniformed gangsters around who were sporting similar colors to the graffiti. That might be a good clue as to who to talk to.
I'm going to roll a flavor roll 5. No, you don't see anybody that's actively wearing any colors that match the graffiti.
Okay. Well, let's have a look around. Let's see if we can find a traditional information broker, someone who can point us in the right direction.
As you guys start to look around, there's a noodle vendor. There's somebody selling water and drinks over in another corner. Looks like there's a clothing merchant across the way. There's taxis going by, so on and so forth. It's not. I mean, you guys just got off the metro, so you're just stepping out, and that's what you see in front of you. Probably 50 to 100 people on the streets kind of milling around, walking about their daily business as you guys are here.
And is this a large enclosed space, or is this...
I mean, obviously you're down in the lower areas, so, but not closed off. You're kind of like a street corner type environment, like if you ever come out of a metro station onto a side street. It's not like a busy main street, but, it's definitely an open space.
All right, let's wander over towards the noodle shack.
Copy that.
Looking to get yourself some noodles? Enjoy the local cuisine?
Well, when in Rome.
As you approach the noodle
Absalom,
stand, there is a lone Sheeran cooking away, clickety-clack, arms going everywhere, antennas flying around. What can I get you?
Noodles, spicy.
Spicy noodles coming up, sir. What about you two?
All the same.
Spicy noodles for two. And what about the human? You got taste buds, sir?
I don't have any taste buds.
Not anymore. The gunpowder
Thanks to
took
our
them all
suspect,
away.
he burnt them off in the war.
Yeah, the gunpowder burned them all away.
Buttered noodles for the
Buttered
human.
noodles. Ah. Well, I hope you like shearing butter because there's no cow butter left. All right, he takes
Yeah,
about
mouse butter.
what kind?
Mouse butter.
Soaky butter, but we can't tell you where it came from. That's a secret. Shh. Anyway, 5 minutes later, he slaps up some noodles in some containers and slaps them down. There you go, boys. Enjoy. Clickers
I
away
want
as
to watch
antenna
his
flap.
eyes as he's preparing the food.
Yeah.
I want to see if he glances at or makes eye contact with or any other kind of tell. I'm looking to pick up on a tell of some kind here, as far as like if he's kind of taking direction from somebody that might be watching from a distance or that type of thing.
No, he's just focused on the food. Couple more clients come up to go as you guys are eating, and he serves them. One of them engages in a conversation with him, something about kids at school. One of the kids got caught gambling, and they're in detention, and oh, it sucks. Kids
It's
are
nice to
Anybody
see a
else?
noodle chef that knows what he's
Anybody
about.
else look like they might be rambunctious, enthusiastic people?
not at the moment. It is just normal people going around, and occasionally some people stopping at the noodle stand.
Does anybody stick out like they're, I don't know, patrolling the area, like they're the local guard, I guess?
You see a trio of guys on the other side of the street that probably fit the bill of some sort of local militia, but they're not very like you would know this. I'll give it to you because you're a soldier. They're not like their uniforms are not that clean. One of them's kind of got half his shirt's kind of pulled out, not tucked in. You can even tell from this distance that they're not, the way they're walking is very, it's nothing. Yeah, we're not really patrolling. We're just here because our bosses make us be here, so they're just walking the beat. But they're not like top precision level guards. They're just here because they have to be, and they're just wage clock punchers. I
What do
was
you
just
think?
catching up on YouTube chat, by the way. What's up, Mistra? Liam, how are you guys going? Little do they know eating noodles creates more magic, which helps. I'm convinced they won't stop eating noodles.
I think we could start a fight with each other about the relative spiciness of our noodles. And no, I'm kidding.
Who
We'll
needs?
create a scene over the noodles.
I could pour my noodles over your head if you want. That would
You
create.
could, but yeah, it's the antennae. They're anti-noodle properties involved there that keep them upright. So
Well, they might get tangled in the noodles.
it's true. It's true. Just enjoy our noodles, making this idle banter as we kind of turn and face the street, leaning against the counter. Noodles.
I don't know. Do we want to try to question the trio that was walking around? They're not top tier.
Well, I'm kind of watching to see if they have any kind of reaction to us at all.
Yeah.
Because we're not from around here. You would think.
No, they've already moved on. They're literally just bored guards guys just walking their shift. They came around the corner, walked by on the other side of the street, and they're already off and around the corner.
You see, they
Can
can
we-
get good gangsters these days.
Yeah. Can we snag the establishment owner and just kind of mention that we're new here and there's been some rough stuff going on. We just want to stay away from it. Can we ask him where we
Yeah,
can where we
absolutely.
need to steer clear of?
Rough stuff. They.
Yeah, we don't want to be included in the rough stuff.
You guys don't look like it. You can handle yourself anyway. You look like you're fresh off the boat. Yeah, just you're pretty good around here. There's nothing really that happens here. It's a pretty safe neighborhood. Just don't go down deep on the south side. That can get a little sketchy over there. But don't worry. If you do get into trouble, you can always just keep an eye out for the 21st Street guys. They'll take care of you. But you didn't hear that from me, right? He kind of gives you
So
a
what are we looking for?
cockroachy wink. One of his antenna twitches as his eyes shuts.
How do I get in touch with them if I get in trouble?
You don't want to get in touch with them. That's I don't got nothing to do with that, guys. You don't want to it's one of those things, you know about them, but you don't want to get in touch with them if you know what I mean. Like that's you don't want to be indebted to those guys. It's the same as being indebted to the cops. Hey, you know what, guys? I got noodles. I got customers. Just he's getting nervous.
You seem to get nervous there right at the end. Can I make a perception check and
Absolutely.
see if he was being noticed at that moment by something?
Go ahead and roll perception. By the way, thanks for the membership renewals, guys. I'm catching up on things here in the YouTube chat. Mujin, Liam, thanks, guys.
Problem. Happy to help out there, buddy.
23 on the perception. Yeah, when he started going on about, I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. And he was, 21st Street guys. You caught his glimpse going over towards like the northwest, and over in that direction there was some graffiti around one of the doors to a building. You didn't clock it when you guys got off the metro because you guys were only focused here. But he's looking off. It's you can see it in the distance. But that's what kind of the direction he was looking at. Some sort of a building over there with some graffiti around the door.
Well, if you fellows are done eating, maybe we should take a walk.
Sure. Where are we going?
Thank you, good sir, for the excellent noodles.
Yeah, anytime. Come again.
Get up and wander generally in the direction of that doorway and that graffiti.
Yeah, we can head down the street.
There you go.
All right. Let me get this up. I'm going to share a map with y'all. You should see this map, yeah? I don't have your characters on it quite yet.
I see the grid.
I see a grid of blackness. Is it a black hole?
Here we go.
This'll work. This works better.
Oh, it's a noodle window. I love those.
Man, now I'm hungry for noodles, by the way, guys. Y'all,
Right?
that's just not cool.
Yeah, I had pork chops and mashed potatoes before I came on, so how's that help?
I made potato salad this morning, and then I made fajitas last night. So I had fajitas for breakfast, potato salad today, fried chicken. I'm pretty good, but I thought I wasn't gonna be hungry, and now we started talking about noodles, and all I can think about is like a big pot of like, oh man, I'm gonna have to eat some noodles after this. I'm gonna tell Chris, hey, give me some. Matter of fact, I might need to. Where's my phone? Send my wife a message because she literally was running to the store. Bring me back some noodles. All right. You guys get up to here. You come to the door. It's kind of unassuming. It just says, bodega above the entrance. And then scrawled in red letters underneath, like someone has hand scrawled it. It says Mama Fats. As you enter, you guys see a what we got here. Just reading through some real quick. here. Anyway, you guys enter into the bodega. Technically, these guys are supposed to be back behind a closed door, so I may have jumped the gun on sharing the map with you guys. But you're in the bodega, and as you enter, you meet with this person over here who's going to come in. What can I do for you?
Oh, I was just having a look around. Seemed like the heart of the neighborhood.
Well, we do a lot of good for our people here. We sell a variety of things here. This is a bodega where you could find, food, drinks. What can I get you?
Actually, information. Jabaxa?
Ooh, all right, so he's gonna narrow his eyes at this point. You're probably gonna need to roll. Let's see, what would we roll here? I'm gonna look at your guys' skills real quick to determine what I
I'll
want.
nudge him in the shoulder and say, "Man, I would have just asked for some water. That was really spicy noodles."
Bluff? I've got bluff.
I don't know if it'd be bluff. It'd be more like a diplomacy roll, I think, at this point.
I got that
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I could do that as well.
Yeah, let's do some diplomacy rolls.
It's not exactly my forte, but you know. Eh,
I'll have all three of you guys roll real quick.
It's a diplomacy, right?
Yep. All right. You guys drop Javax's name. His eyes narrow and his hand surreptitiously, kind of slowly eases back to his belt on the right hand side. He does have a pistol. It's sheathed, but he's just kind of casually moved his hand back, resting on his belt near his pistol. He's like, that's a dangerous name, friends. Where might you have heard that name?
Actually, we're Starfinders. There was a disturbance the other day in the docking ring, and some of your men, unfortunately, were involved. My condolences.
All right. He's gonna whistle, and there's gonna be a door in the back. Another guy's gonna step out, kind of peek his head around the corner, and kind of do that, just like what's up? So you guys are talking about the docking bay incident, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, the docking bay.
Unfortunate incidents all over the news. What might you know about that beyond what the news has to say?
Well, I'm afraid the firefight had begun when we arrived on our transport. But from some information that we've discovered since the incident, it seems that if there's anyone who can help us find the people responsible and hold them to account, it would be good Jabaxa. His name has been brought up as a pillar of the community, someone who would want to get to the bottom of that incident, as do we.
Okay. Is there a persuade skill in this, or is that only like 5th edition? I'm looking.
Well, there's an intimidate.
Yeah, it's not going to be intimidate, and it's not going to be bluff. Roll another diplomacy check, guys. Because I like everything I'm hearing, so this has a lower DC.
I don't like this guy kind of reaching for his pistol. Can I just make a perception check just to see to take cadence of my surroundings?
What are you looking for in particular?
Is anybody else paying attention to this conversation other than the one guy that was obviously stuck his head through the door?
Oh, you mean like clients and stuff?
Yeah.
There are 6 people in here, randos. Nobody's paying attention. They're shopping, looking at stuff on the shelves. So it's only the guy that's peeked his head around the corner, and he's just he peeked his head out initially and kind of did the what's up thing, and his buddy was like, hey, and so now he's just kind of casually leaning into the doorway, just kind of keeping an eye on things. I mean, it's obvious to you guys that they're not aggressive, but they're maintaining an alert status. All right, Lysander, your rolls were good enough. So he's gonna stop looking at you, kind of give your party the once over once more. He's gonna say, just give me 1 minute, guys. He's gonna go back to the hallway. He's gonna confer with his associate. The associate's gonna disappear back into this room, back in the back. He's gonna turn back around to you, and he's just gonna be like, just one minute, guys, 1 minute. Couple minutes go by. The associate comes back, motions you forward. So you guys are getting invited into the back room here.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go just theater of the mind here, and you've gone into the back room, and in front of you is the Yosoki, which you can only assume is Jabaxo, given the fact that you name dropped. But of course, you can always find out. Does he have a? Can you see the token? What he looks like? I'm trying to see if there's a piece of artwork for him, but I don't think there. Oh, there totally is. I'm gonna share this with you guys. It totally is an actual piece of artwork for Jabaxa. That's what he looks
cool.
like.
That's a handsome rat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys are led into this back room of the bodega. Two guys take up flanking positions on either side of Jabaxa. He's sitting down. Welcome. Have a seat, guys. And as he invites you to sit down, he's going to pour a shot of bathtub moonshine for each of you as a gesture of hospitality. What can I do for you?
Well, Jabaxa, my name is Lysander, and my associates and I had only just arrived on the station when we were caught up in an incident down on the docks. And my information tells me that the incident was between your people and another group. I thought it best to come to you directly and not try to hide from you in any way, because I've heard that you basically take care of the community here. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to learn of this directly and not through the hollows.
All right, go ahead and roll a diplomacy check. All right, he's gonna, as you tell him this, there's gonna be a slight pause as he's pouring the shots, as you guys are sitting down and you're giving him the speech. He's gonna just a cool appraising glance, but just remains indifferent at the moment. Well, I appreciate the information. We've been appraised of the situation, but it is a good gesture of your good intentions to come here and tell me this in the flesh. Please have a seat to take a drink. He's gonna raise his shot glass in you guys' directions and to fallen comrades. No. And then he's gonna clean his whiskers.
I'll take the drink with him.
Break down the shot.
All right. What else can I do for you while you're here?
Well, fallen comrades. We had someone we were supposed to meet that fell in that battle too. Did he happen to know them?
Go ahead and roll a diplomacy check, please. You have big bonuses. You better not fail.
We don't have diplomacy.
Oh my god!
We're making such a great impression.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Pretty sure it was what was his name? Durander or something Creel, a dwarf from the Starfinder Society. Yeah.
Yeah.
My crew had nothing to do with his death. Just so that you know, just so you know. Yeah, your guys said you guys were with the Starfinder Society. We got no beef with them. Was nothing on our end.
We weren't trying to imply that you had, or your group, had anything at all to do with Creel's death. In fact, I'm certain that all of us were just caught in the crossfire that day. What it really comes down to, though, is the question of why he wanted to meet with us in the first place, and the coincidence that he was discussing, or he was meaning to discuss with us, something that, well, Scuttlebutt says you're interested and involved with yourself. The Acreon?
Yeah, drop another diplomacy check here.
I'm gonna have to start phrasing this more threateningly because I have much better bonuses with intimidation.
All right, he's gonna narrow his eyes, gonna pour another shot for everybody. I might know something about that, but you're fresh faces. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what you're here for. I don't know you. I hope you can understand my predicament. He's gonna raise his shot glass and take another shot. Clean his whiskers.
Absolutely. I completely understand. But the only other information that we have to get to the bottom of Creel's death and why he wanted to discuss this matter with us is the name of a club. I'm curious. Have you heard of the Fusion Queen?
Now you're treading on dangerous territory here, boy. What do you know about the Downside Kings?
Well, I know that they were the other gang who was shooting at your men that day on the docking ring.
Roll a
And I
diplomacy
know that
again.
they killed our friend.
Roll a diplomacy again.
Come on, that wasn't enough for it to intimidate. I'm gonna have to really work on my acting skills, I guess.
Oh well, you can do it.
Diplomacy it is.
That's fair enough.
Diplomacy.
You leaned in. Do an intimidation. That's all good. Well,
Our,
your diplomacy was enough.
All right.
our soldier may have to get the hint that we're just not doing our job, and he might have to flex some muscle.
Chuck his pistols out. Be like, look, rat.
He's still trying to figure out like why his mouth is on fire over there.
I got no taste buds.
It was supposed to be cow butter.
Oh man. All right. All right. You guys have had a couple of shots by this point, and the rat has appeared to loosen up a little bit. He's gonna pour a third shot for everyone. Fallen comrades, right? Chucks it down, cleans his whiskers. The Astral Kings, huh? Or excuse me, not the Astral Kings, the Downside Kings, huh? Well, I'd be happy to fill in any gaps in your knowledge. What are you looking to know?
Well, we've been given to understand that the conflict that day in the docking ring was due to that derelict ship I mentioned before. For whatever reason, those men were attacking your men, and on that day, our friend was killed, and he meant to talk to us about this derelict. It's a big coincidence, but I was hoping, well, maybe you could shed some light as to why these Downside Kings were so aggressive that day that they would risk that kind of open hostility in a public docking ring.
All right, I'm just reading through something real quick here to make sure that, because there's some stuff he knows and some stuff he doesn't.
Does he look like he's drinking more than he normally does?
That's a good question.
Is this guy loosening up, or is he trying to get us to be a little bit
Unknown at this point.
careless?
Unknown. I'll do a flavor roll for that one. It's unknown at this point.
His whiskers are inscrutable.
Yeah, they are really. I mean, the rest of them might be a little funky, and he's got that weird eye, but his whiskers are clean. All right, you guys know where they're located, right?
Well, yeah, we know that they own a nightclub.
They do own a nightclub. I don't know specifics about all of the things, but we don't go down there usually because the level 21 crew doesn't step on their territory. But I do know that they were the ones who started the shootout in the docking bay. They were after the dwarf, as far as we're aware. Now, the ship, you guys. I suppose you're talking about the Acreon, right?
Yeah.
Word on the street is, and this is only word on the street, that the Downside Kings have been hired by Astral Projections to threaten the Hardscrabble Collective and pressure the miners into handing over the Acreon and that drift rock. Some sort of a, power play. But it's who knows if that's actually gonna go through or not. But that's just word on the street. I don't have any actual personal information on that.
Of course. Do you have any idea why they wanted the dwarf dead?
I got no clue on that one. It's we were there. They were the ones that started shooting. We were just there to oppose them. Our crew had nothing to do with his death, so it's all on the Downside
No,
Kings. But
of
I don't
course,
know
of course.
if they were ordered to do it or what.
Well, that gives me a little bit of information to go on. And you say that your people don't enter into the area where the fusion
Hey,
queen
we got no
is
beef with
located, right?
we got no beef with them, and we're not gonna be messing with their crew on their territory.
Of course not. But the neighborhood, dangerous?
It can be for the wrong people.
Mm. I guess that's true for just
I-
about anywhere.
It can be. I would say that I wouldn't go down there unless you're packing heat for sure. And also
That's good
don't
advice.
rely on any of the local guards to do anything for you. I mean, even the ones down here, they might help out as long as they've not been paid to turn a blind eye. But down in the level in that other, where are they at? Hang on, I gotta look up the name of the place where they're located. The downside. That's what that's called, the Downside Kings. Down in the downside, it's a little more lawless than it is up here.
I'm going to use my sense motive ability
Okay.
very surreptitiously to check and see if his surface thoughts, at least, are congruent with this notion that he knows enough about the Downside Kings to know that they were targeting the dwarf direct. Throughout this conversation, I'm just a light kind of scan. Just want to see if there's any congruency there.
Okay. Is that an automatic thing, by the way? I don't remember because we did it last time, and
Limited telepathy.
I think it's just
It's
an
a
automatic
perception
sophistry.
roll, I think.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
If it's opposed, I think it's a perception roll, but I don't know for sure because it says it's a perception based.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll for it.
So,
Well, there's a sense motive skill.
yeah, this is a limited telepathy. It's a racial thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get any sense that he knows anything about, why, the kings would want the dwarf dead. You just know that he's telling the truth, at least when it comes to, they were on the docks to confront the kings, and during that encounter, which his crew had nothing to do with the dwarf, but during that encounter, they saw, the hollow recordings show it as well. The kings, shot the dwarf.
Right, and there's no attempt at screening or anything going on there when he says that they targeted the dwarf.
Doesn't appear to be.
Yeah. Okay.
He just doesn't appear to know anything.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I suppose we'll have to be careful how we approach these people. They sound dangerous, and
They can be.
too shady. I do appreciate your hospitality.
Does he know of anybody that we could contact as an outside group inquiring?
What are you looking for specifically? Maybe I can better answer that question.
So, of course, if we were from the level 21 gang, we might contact or get a hold of them in one way. But if we were from somebody that didn't directly oppose them, is there somebody we might contact?
Like somebody within the 21
No. Does he know the downside gang?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
No, not gonna. He's not.
No
Yeah,
context.
different sides of the fence. Different sides of the fence for that one. Is there anything else I can do for you guys? He's gonna pour one more shot for everybody.
Yes.
No, we do appreciate your hospitality.
Anytime.
Yeah, we probably got enough out of him without being too rude.
All right, final shot for the round of everybody. If you ever
Does
need
that
anything
much
else,
rat whiskey come with experience, or is that...
one more shot. All right. This time
Salute.
you notice his whiskers are smoldering a little bit from that one. Apparently, prolonged exposure might be a little dangerous to your whiskers.
Yeah, I'll take that as advisement.
Maybe contributing to the no taste buds factor. Who knows?
On the plus side, those noodles are going to be terrific the next time you have them.
All
Hey, Maverick.
right.
Some of us had buttered noodles, not spicy.
That's right. He did
noodles.
have buttered noodles, which may or may not have consequences depending on the fact that it used Sheeran butter. I don't know that you want to know what Sheeran
Just a
butter's
little
like.
allergy. Yeah.
You might wake up with some antenna growing. Thinking of District 9, I was watching some clips for that the other day, and just it literally when I was watching it, I couldn't stop thinking about the Sheeran when I was watching that. I was just watching clips on TikTok the other night, and I haven't seen that movie in a few years. It's a really good film, but the way they did those, like they call them the prawn, but they're like cockroachy, shrimpy, and I literally was just thinking of the Sheeran, and I was just like, no, nasty Sheeran butter. Oh.
These jokes write themselves.
All right. Yeah, final shots. You guys are welcome to come back anytime. But you've gotten all you're gonna get from these guys. Quick bio break, and then we will figure out where we're gonna go next. I'll be right back.
Fair enough.
So you don't think it would be a good idea to ask him if his crew that he sent was green? Because they did appear to shoot a bit wildly.
Well, I mean, if you brought it up, I'd back your play. But it wouldn't be my angle of approach. Only because, well, here's how I look at it. These guys, they at least, in a public facing way, want to be perceived as good guys. So, feed that, give them positive feedback on the events that happened that day, but imply directly that we're going to get to the bottom of our friend's death. See if he knows anything. And he did. He knew, at least he believes he knows, that our friend was targeted directly by the other gang. It jives with the information we have so far. I don't see any reason to wind this guy up as well, especially if we're going to be taking a little bit more of an adversarial approach with the other gang. But that's my way of thinking. What do you think?
Yeah, fair enough. Unless our other partner disagrees, but he was gone.
All of which is easily explainable in the world by a huh? I was looking at that sign. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I almost went and got we got a
Some
big
noodles?
3-liter. No, but we got a 3-liter bottle of agave the other day that I'm debating I might crack
Ooh.
into.
Ooh,
It's really smooth and really tasty.
nice. Like mezcal, or
Yeah, but the way it goes here is that all mezcal is agave, but in order
okay.
to use the name mezcal, you have to pay for a license. And so what a lot of the local producers will do, they'll just straight up sell it as agave liquor, and it's 28% as opposed to, whatever. And then if they pay for the license, then they can call it agave. or excuse me, then they can call it mezcal, and then it can only be called tequila if it's in Jalisco. So, and then it has distillation involved, so it's a much higher proof. But yeah, we get these 3-liter jugs that are like it's $10. It's only 28%, so it's not like it's not potent. It's like it's like having a glass of wine, only it's like double the potency of a glass of wine. But it's
Right, like a
super,
hard beer.
yeah, it's super smooth with ice, and you can still do it with tequila if you want to, or mix it for margaritas and stuff. But we bought it the other day. Chris and I had Monday was a Monday was a good day. We may have had a few glasses of that, barbecued some hot dogs, and passed out. Took like a 3-hour nap in the middle of the afternoon.
Nice.
So now I'm thinking about rat whiskey, and I was thinking about some agave. I have to go get some of that.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
All right, here.
I just have water. I'm boring tonight.
I'm on coffee. Like I just literally have been drinking coffee all day. So
Coffee's fine.
yes, sir. All right.
Gamer juice.
Gamer juice. Chat is saying rat whiskey with a touch of black plague fumes. Nice one, Mistra. New dice. Somebody had spaghetti for dinner, says Liam. I did make spaghetti the other day. Oh, speaking of Picard, I need to, before we go any further, hold up a second. I need to remember to set my alarm because Picard comes out tomorrow morning, and I got to get up at 3 in the morning to get that.
Good God, man, that's an ungodly hour.
Well, my schedules are sorts of whack. So last night I went to bed at 7:30, woke up at 11:30, and worked from 11:30 until 9:30 this morning. Then I went to bed for 2 hours, woke up, worked some more, went back to bed and slept like from 2 to 4, and then I'm up since 4 in the afternoons. But usually I go to bed about 9 or 10 and get up about 3 or 4 because the cats will get me up. Whether I set an alarm or not, the cats are up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So.
Oh yeah.
Crazy cats. And we just leave the back door open, so they just come in and go out and come in and go out. So there's no control on our cats bothering us at any point in time. So all right, you guys have finished with the rats here.
And now we're stumbling back out of this neighborhood and
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Can we get some noodles on our way out?
More spicy noodles.
More spicy noodles. Let's go ahead and close that map down. Go ahead and open this up. All right. Where do you guys want to head from here? You've got an option of astral extractions, which I think you said you were going to save to the end. The downside kings, if you were going to attempt to go down there and head to the club. What?
How do you want to approach the downside kings, if at all, you guys? What is your thought on that? Part of me is inclined to just go in and slap a picture of the dwarf down on the bar, but that probably could lead to some kind of firefight. God knows, we would hate that. So,
Well, you think that's a good idea, just slapping pictures down on a bar, huh?
well, my inclination is to be as direct as possible with this other group. They don't portray themselves as the good guys. People that don't pretend that they're good guys usually appreciate a more forceful approach.
Not always. Sometimes they like a little bit of, money, bribe, graft.
So what we kind of got out of the rat really is that at least the rat wanted us to think that the downside kings wanted the dwarf dead.
Yeah, and I get the impression too overall that he wasn't screening those thoughts in any way. In other words, he believes that the downside kings wanted the dwarf dead. And so his overall attitude towards that particular situation was congruent with the words that he told us. So that means that we could be walking directly into some form of trap, a hostile situation. After all, if they wanted the dwarf dead, it's possible that they have some beef against the Starfinders that wasn't disclosed to us by either Patton or Chiskus. But
It's food for thought. Yeah.
on the other hand, there's three sides to every story, and their perspective on the dwarf's death may be completely different.
You just brought up a very good question in my mind, and I want to look this up really quick because I don't know enough about this. Where would this be? Probably the modules section. Let me look at the core rulebook here. I'm not finding anything in that. So my curiosity here is, what affiliations, if any, does the Starfinder Society have in terms of, or is there even any whatsoever with criminal organizations?
Right.
Or do they even have, like, as far as I understand the Starfinder Society, it's mostly about exploration of the galaxy, right? They don't, that, as far as I understand things, they don't have anything to do with political agendas or leadership, or, you know what I mean? Like, as far as I'm aware. But that's a very good
Right.
question that's pinging my brain now.
But as an organization that has an interest in basically getting to the bottom of various mysteries and things throughout the area of known space here, it stands to reason that they have gentlemen like Patton, for example, whose job it is to know the local toughs, know the local politics, and be able to navigate those circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time we give Patton a call and ring him up on the hollow, see if he might be able to shed some light as to whether or not there's any pre-existing animosity between Krell and the Downside Kings.
Yeah, I'm doing a quick scan. I think Chen ducked out for a bio maybe, or something. I didn't check Discord, so
Yeah, and if I'm leading like this in some like weird tangent that's
I'm
not
okay with
accounted
this
for,
because it's stuff that I get to read up on because I don't know enough about it
and
yet.
I was
So.
just gonna say, feel free to steer me in some other direction if that's the case. I'm not really.
So it says that their primary goal is the cause of the gap and the fate of Galarian, the planet. That's their primary objective. So they're kind of like an archaeological society, exploration society. Based on Absalom Station. Venture captains. They're located in the Lorespire complex, which you guys already gone to. Built around the Lorespire, the archives, the Hall of Discovery.
Just check my thinking here, guys. If there is something that Krell wanted to communicate to us directly that wasn't communicated by Chiskus or Patton because they didn't have the information, they weren't privy to it. It was something that was recent in his gathering of information or investigation or whatever you want to call it. It's possible that he would have checked in with one or both of them, and at least they would have some notion of whether there was conflict between the gang and Krell directly, because we're hearing now for the first time that this wasn't just Crossfire.
But you guys got his data pad. I remember this. I do remember you guys got his data pad. So did you guys jot the notes down that you found off of his personal computer last time?
Well, that started us down the whole thing with astral extractions.
Right, because
if I remember correctly,
everything that was on there was, he had personal money invested in the Hardscrabble Collective. One of his cousins was a member of the group, but she died in a mining accident, which is a real result of safety violations perpetrated by the Astral Extractions. The Astral Extractions appear to be the group behind the Downside Kings, yeah.
Right.
But you're looking for
it seems to me that he earned himself quite a bit more trouble than just, for example, making a claim against the insurance company for the resultant death of his cousin.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Whatever he was doing in gathering that information, it seems to have earned him a lethal response from the toadies of the
Okay.
Astral Extractions group. It just makes me wonder, is there some type of history between the Starfinder Society at all and Astral
Or if
Extractions
it's
or the
personal
Downside
between the
Kings,
dwarf
or
and.
if it's more personal?
Okay. So, did he give you a number to contact him, or did he want you to come back to the Lorespire complex to
I
discuss
don't
things?
know the answer to that. I mean, I was kind of being semi-facetious when I said bring him up on the hollow. I'm not sure exactly if that's how it
I'm
works.
assuming he probably didn't give you contact information, and you probably need to go back to the Lorespire complex and see if he's at the office. So why don't we do that? Why don't we head back
Okay,
up?
let's do that.
Let's see if
Well, we
he's
need to
there.
sober up a bit anyway before we go bursting into another bar. Otherwise, we'll just be thrown out immediately. You no, get out.
Maybe they want the drunken type because they're more loose with their money.
It's gonna take you a
True.
couple hours to get there, so you'll have time to sober up, especially if you eat some more noodles.
That's right.
They may have
Noodles to go.
repercussions tomorrow, but that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
He is in. I rolled a 1 for flavor, so he is in the office when you guys arrive. It was a he, right? God, I can't find him in my notes.
I believe Patton was the he.
Was he human? Do you guys remember?
No, I don't remember what he was,
Where
but
the hell
he
are my
definitely
notes?
had some. He had some character and mannerisms that suggested that he was of another species.
This is what
I could be
happens when
wrong.
you do a random character in a session that was 2 weeks ago and you didn't write any notes
Your
down. And
damn
it's
players keep asking the dumbest questions. You have to do all this random shit. I don't know.
Wasn't he a bug type?
I think he was Sharon.
Was he Sharon? All right.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was.
All right. Well, Patton's in the office, and he is surprised to see you. What can I do for you?
Hey, Patton, I just came back
How goes the research?
from level 21,
Ah.
and I met the Yosoki Jabaxa. As
Good.
a matter of fact, we all did.
Good. How'd that
He
go?
seemed like a good sort. But I have a question for you, and I think that you might not know, but I do know from Krell's datapad that he had the potential, anyway, for there to be some personal grievance with the other faction involved in that firefight that day. And the Jabaxa has, well, he believes that our man Krell was purposefully targeted by the Downside Kings. Is there any history between the Starfinder group here and some of the local street gangs like the Downside Kings? Or
All right. So everybody needs to roll a culture check at this point. Does anybody have? There's another. It says there's also if you have a higher bonus with profession. Oh, Chen. You're good. You guys are good. You rolled a 30. That's good for all the things. So you guys are, little shearing eye to eye going on here. A little bit of the antenna going flickety flick 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 telepathic. Oh, okay. I got you covered. All right. He's gonna lean over the desk a little bit, look both directions. All right, guys, listen. Things have been a little crazy around here since the arrival of that derelict ship, right? And there's all sorts of people all over the place going on now. The Starfinder organization, we don't have connections. Like, we're not involved in that kind of stuff. We're just an exploration group, so that's up to other people. But Duravoro, he had his own things going on. And I'm really glad you guys came back, actually, because I was going to contact you to get you up to speed on this in your investigations, because we found out that Astral Extractions actually hired Downside Kings to coerce the Hardscrabble Collective into abandoning its claims on the Acreon and the Drift Rock. And part of that is I've heard from some of our sources that the Astral Projections specifically ordered the Downside Kings to target Durable Creel because of his anti-corporate activism, as well as to disparage some of the other parties, namely us, the Starfinders, from intervening in the Acreon matter. So there's definitely some hush hush going on. They don't want people looking into the Acreon. and they wanted him taken out because he'd been poking his nose around because of what happened with his cousin and everything else. So I'd say you're on the right track if you're looking towards the Downside Kings and Astral Attractions, but that's dangerous territory. You guys need to make sure you're going in there prepared for what you might be facing.
Yeah. That's kind of the impression that we've picked up as well from talking to Jabaxa, who seemed largely genuine.
I mean,
in the
from all
information that he
reports
gave
that
us.
we have, Jabrax is a good guy. Obviously, they're into some shady shit, but
It takes all kinds to make the world go around, even here on Absalom, from what I've been told. So,
yeah, unless you're
Yeah.
squeaky clean like me.
so let me ask you one more thing. I know you're busy, but if we wanted to, let's say, enter Fusion Queen and speak to someone from a position of strength, we would probably need some type of plans, layout. Is there somewhere on the station where we might find out more information about how to effectively wrangle ourselves an RSVP for the club in a more direct way?
That's a good question. I'm reading through a couple of things really quick here to make sure that
Anything that you could point us to. We'll probably keep our heads attached to our shoulders.
What, can a bug grow back his head or shoulders?
You might, but I can't. So
look, the Downside Kings. That's not our business. We don't get in. We don't deal with the criminal underworld that much. We stay to the business. It's a pretty tight knit society down there, so I don't have any information that could help you guys in that
yeah,
regards.
fair enough.
It's I mean, you're gonna have to. It's gonna be one of those recon situations where you're gonna need to get some hands on. I don't know. There might be other ways to get into the club. You'll have to check that out when you get down there. I don't know if you could forge documents or anything like that, but all we know is what we know, where they're located. That's your best starting point.
Damn it. Keep grabbing the wrong thing. Just want to light surface scan, make sure he's being as forthcoming as our friend Jabaxa was,
Okay.
as far as how much he knows or doesn't know.
Was that your sense motive roll that you just dropped?
That was actually a
yeah,
sense
yeah.
motive roll.
No,
It's the same
he's
+7 as perception, but it
nice.
does have its own thing. I figured that out after it was mentioned earlier by.
No, he's straight
Laura.
up. He's being legit with you. Like
All right.
he's got no
Fair enough.
more information. And matter of fact, you kind of sense a little bit of underlying kind of nervousness about that area of the station. Like he's like a healthy level of this is the guy that's your underworld contact who, because he knows and interacts with these organizations, and at least on an investigation level, and he has a healthy respect for the Downside Kings. Like I'm not gonna, it's like wolf packs. They kind of avoid the other territories because they know that's somebody else's territory, so we're not gonna go there. So that's kind of the impression you get, is this healthy level of paranoia regarding that area and the overall organization.
Thanks for your time, Pat, and we'll keep you in the loop.
Be safe out there, guys. I'm gonna have to get a pair of antenna to put on when I'm playing my Sheeran.
Right? Any googly eyes on the end of them?
Yeah. I saw. Speaking of Google
think,
Ads, I
guys?
do have a really funny thing, really quick to interject. I saw a meme the other day where somebody had a ghillie suit and they had put googly eyes on the ghillie suit. And like, if you really want to strike fear into the heart of your enemy, put googly eyes on your ghillie suit and then put some on the trees around. Start driving paranoia into the heart of your enemy. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
One kind of camouflage. The camouflage of the ridiculous, right? What do you guys want to do? Do you want to? I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about actually directly entering this club. It seems like everything we're being.
We should find out what level it's on and enter in from.
We can at least go there and take a look.
I don't think we should enter the club straight up. Just find the level it's on enter from the outside.
Yeah.
That
I suppose there's plenty that we could learn just by watching whatever clientele tends to frequent the place, or if there's a marquee.
yeah.
Stakeout.
Oh,
Make
I
sure you
love
bring noodles.
stakeouts. We got
Stakeout?
noodles. We got gamer juice.
Maybe they have a steakhouse for your stakeout.
Oh,
All right, so you guys are gonna head down to downside King's territory.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you're doing a stakeout for now. All right. So you guys make your way down there. Is there you guys going down daytime, nighttime? Any particular preference here?
Well,
Probably better daytime. Hang
what
around.
time was it when we met with Patton?
I don't think we had specified, so we could just say it was noon, and because
Okay.
you
Possibly
well, no,
later in
you
the
guys had
evening.
breakfast before. I think we had done that before, and you had made your
Sure.
way. I think I don't remember.
I
It's been
think
a couple
actually,
weeks.
mid to late afternoon is probably a pretty good time.
All right.
Most clubs have deliveries at that time. We might be able to see if there's any side doors or what kind of security they have.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Let's make that so.
Okay, Captain Picard. Gonna say,
I'm not a synth.
forgot to say engage.
Engage. I always wanted to make the entrance and come in and throw my leg over the chair, more like number one than Picard. But you know,
Oh,
the way he sat down.
You like the way Riker sat down, huh?
Yeah, he's got charisma.
It's got there's a funny
Charisma?
story behind that too, because I watched a clip recently where he was talking about because it started off because of the seats in the bar in that cantina where Whoopi Goldberg had her character, where they were just the right height. So when he would come into the chair, he would just because of his height and everything, he said he would just that was just the thing. He would
Step
sit
right
down,
over the.
step
Yeah.
right over it because of the height of the chair, and then he ended up when he did the ready room, the chairs were the same height, and so it just became this thing where unconsciously he was doing that. But then he also talked about this is just on my mind since you mentioned this because I've been watching Picard and then also just TikTok stuff. But he was Riker was doing an interview recently at a convention a while back, and he talked about how if you watch the way Riker walks, he oftentimes will lead with his shoulder, like he walks with one shoulder forward, and he talks about how that's not his normal walk. That's something he adapted from when he did a play on Broadway with some guy he really admired prior to doing Next Generation, and he sort of adapted that as the stance for Riker, so that when Riker walks, he's always walking with his shoulder forward. I was like, that is a trip to think about, to be able to take something like that and infuse it to the point where you actually remember to do that every time. Because it's one thing to spout lines, and I mean, you do a film or something like this, even, it's a couple hours, there might be a few dozen hours of production in a film, but when you're doing that for like 7-8 years plus 4 or 5 feature films, you're on set every day for 12 hours a day for,
Yeah,
7-8
5, 6
months.
days a week, 7, 8 months.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a level of, it's really intriguing to me. I've done quite a bit of theater growing up, and it's a lot of fun, but that is another level of like acting, like where
Yeah,
you're
just bring in something to the character, something
yeah, but
physical.
something
Yeah.
that you have to physically remember with
Yeah.
your lines that you're doing, and then the unconscious thing, which is the swinging of the leg over the chair, which is yeah.
Well,
Mister was
start
saying
doing it.
those bar stools didn't look comfy in Next Generation.
Well, when you start walking a certain way, after a time, it does become habit.
Ingrained, a little bit of a habit, yeah. Did I say Absalom? See, there's crossover for Pathfinder. Yeah. So the thing here, Mister, is that Starfinder is Pathfinder. It's just this is my understanding after having gone through the core rulebook. Um, it's basically there was an unknown amount of time that passed, um, and the planet of Galarian disappeared. And then there's something called the gap, which is this period of time where no one has any memories. And during that time period was when the planet disappeared. So Absalom Station is the headquarters for the humans. The Starfinder society and the packed worlds, which are the known human worlds and etc. And the station is located in the orbit of where the planet used to be, but no one knows where the planet went, not even the gods. And if the gods do know, they're not willing to speak about it. And it's a very interesting way that they set up the Starfinder universe because it uses a lot of the same deities, a lot of the same magic, and the same races because they all came from the same place. But the planet itself of Galarian is gone, and no one knows where it went or how it disappeared. It's a very intriguing thing. And yeah, when Viggo Mortensen broke his foot kicking the helmet, like that's some guys get into character, pretty intense. All right, so you guys go down to the station, and you go down to the. Hang on, I gotta pull up my tabbed away. You head on down into the downside area. It's kind of trendy a little bit, but everyone seems to be a little. I mean, if you had to pick a word for it, it'd be kind of like everybody's kind of looking over their shoulder, maybe looking a little depressed, even kind of just like it's not an happy-go-lucky place. Like people's emotions here feel very muted. Lots of looking over the shoulder, so on and so forth. It's very easy to find the club because it's the name of it, the location of it, etc. Your objective here is you're attempting to see if there's any entries above and beyond the main entrance. So you came here in the mid-afternoon, hoping that there would be some deliveries. Let's see if there are. There is a delivery taking place. In the back, there appears to be a loading dock, but it is locked down tight. It's behind a walled-off gate. You can a walled-off fence, I should say. You manage to sneak up to the fence and kind of get a peek through. There's at least a dozen guards back there, along with workers and stuff, all armed. Definitely armed presence here guarding the back door.
So this club, does it look like people are coming and going, or does it look like it's a you need to be on the list to get in?
You guys came here during the afternoon, so it's not actually
So
open yet. So it's just the
okay.
back, so it's still closed down. And they're doing the loading dock thing in the back. But yeah, you're not getting in through the back right now. With the way those guys are milling around and unloading the stock.
Is there a marquee? Are they advertising what they're featuring, or
Um,
not that type of establishment?
no, yeah, there's nothing out. There's no marquee. It's just big flashing sign at the top with a name. But no other information.
Interesting. That's a lot of security for a
Your
nightclub
house is
loading
fab,
dock.
by the way.
Of course, we probably expect that this particular club
Thanks
is
for letting me shop.
front for some dirty business, so I guess that's not too too surprising.
It does say here roll a culture check as you guys are sitting out front. Well, as not as you're sitting out front, but as you scoping out the place and everything else.
Culture check.
Oh my God, with the
I had
floors.
somebody banging on my door and they're not there now.
It's all good, man.
God, these rolls are good.
Maverick, wow, you are an untrained, uncultured individual.
Yes.
Chin
He's still
recognize.
fighting over that butter.
Yeah.
What
Chin
the hell was in that?
Chin recognizes the club's logo, which is a stylized crown, which is a variant of the Downside King's symbol. The entrance to the club here is located along a corridor, neon lights everywhere. But yeah. All right, I am going to duck out again and take a quick bio since he stepped away real quick, and then we will come back and proceed.
Let's see. Don't you think we're kind of sticking out like a sore thumb just looking at what they're doing?
Oh, I imagine it was something of a drive-by scoping and not so much just standing out front, you know,
Gawking?
gawking.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
yeah,
look at that!
my instinct tells me that we're gonna find nothing but trouble on the inside of this club, and that may be what we're looking for. But we need a good entrance. Clearly, the back isn't in. Ideas, suggestions.
Walk in like we own the place. What do you think?
Well, we could just see if we can get in and when during their open hours. You know, if it's a if it's an open establishment where you can walk up to a bar, you know, we can get in.
Well, if it's in a high um, controlled gang area, I would think that it's fairly open, unless it's supposed to be exclusive just for for their gang.
It is. Well, I mean, you guys can wait around. Eventually, it's going to open up if that's what you guys want to do. Or did you have another? Because yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys wait around long enough, you know they'll open up around 10 o'clock at night.
I don't know. Maybe we should see if we're being watched by the local,
Go ahead and roll perception checks.
you know, local guard or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, it depends on how nonchalant you guys are about.
Holy shit! I
ooh,
actually rolled one.
All right.
Good.
Now I'm gonna roll a flavor roll to see are you being one. No, you guys are good. You managed to take a look at the fence, didn't see anything. You guys have just kind of wandered around, went and found something to eat, came back. Let's just say you've come back now. It's about 10:30 at night. The club is open now. There are a couple of guys guarding the front doors of the nightclub, and they look like they are stopping people who are entering the club and searching them for weapons. If you watch for a few minutes, some people get through, they turn some people away. Um, doesn't appear to be any visible reason why they might be turning those people away. Could be that they have a list. Could be based on known associates. I mean, there could be a variety of reasons why they're not letting certain people into the club. But they're definitely strip searching, not strip searching, but patting down everybody and using a scanner and checking everybody for weapons before they let them go in.
I don't
I'm
know.
not all that eager to go in there unarmed. That's for sure.
Anybody know where to hide a rifle?
While you're watching, actually, there's a guy who gets a little uppity with him. Doesn't want to give up his boot knife, and one of the guards just pulls out a club and just whacks him upside the side of the head. And they push him out of the line, give him a kick in the ass when he's stumbling away. Oh, my head! So I mean, it's no funny business here.
About how many guards are there
There's two out front.
that we know of?
Well, there's two that you see. I mean, you guys are kind of in the street, kind of checking down the corridor towards the entrance to the club, and you can see two guys out front. Who knows what's inside, but there's two out front, bouncers at the door.
The only way I see getting in with weapons is create a distraction where they get pulled away and then trying to sneak in.
Yeah. And the back still looks like it's pretty heavily secured.
You go check.
I'd like to just take one last look at the back to see what we're looking at back there as well.
Yeah.
But I think a distraction might
Yeah.
be the way to do it.
Yeah, there's no cargo being delivered, but there's still you catch a glimpse of at least a dozen guys milling around. It's a card table going and playing some cards, but there's at least a dozen guys back there in the back.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. This
Pay some people to create a distraction for us, maybe, because it is kind of a shady area. Is somebody trying to talk? Because I can't hear.
My milkshake brings all the guards to the yard.
Do you hear me?
My Sheeran milkshake.
You kind of cut out there a little bit.
It may have just been bad timing with multiple people trying to talk at the same time. I haven't heard any issues.
Ken, what do you think?
Well, I mean, what kind of distraction are you
I-
thinking of? It's a corridor, like an alleyway corridor. Why,
How
why would they want
I
to
don't
leave?
know. We could just go in and see what's in there. We don't have to start anything and make any trouble. We could go in and just look around and have some drinks.
you want to
Right.
give up your weapons?
If I'm not starting anything, shouldn't need any weapons.
Or was just I
Well,
guess we could just
as you guys are watching, some more clientele come in. Another guy, this time it's a couple. They get searched down, and one guy has a laser pistol, frag pistol, and it's not even a question of it's both these bouncers immediately draw their weapons and yelling at this guy, "Get rid of the gun! Get rid of the gun!" And he's like, drunk, but his buddy's pulling him to the side, going, "Man, I thought I told you to leave that damn thing at home." And he pulls them out of line, and they walk away. But they're definitely not gonna be friendly to anybody that's got weapons on them. And you guys are
Armed, at the
armed.
very least.
Yeah, you guys are
Yes.
definitely armed. So if you want to
You know what?
avoid that confrontation, you're going to need to get rid of your weapons somewhere else because they're
Or
not.
could we declare that we want to store our weapons, and if they have storage for us?
That would
It's
be
like a gun check.
that might be it. Yeah, that would be a. They don't appear to have any storage units on site for your weapons.
Because I'm not too keen on just storing our weapons somewhere, and
Well,
maybe the locals can.
we can come back.
There's always diplomacy checks. There's intimidation checks. There's lots of
Mhm.
options.
Hmm.
Is there a line? Is there a line of people?
Yeah, there's at least any given time. There's 6, 8, maybe 15 people kind of going in.
Who's got the highest perception of all of us?
Probably not me.
I've got a
I've got a
plus
+7, so
I only have a +1.
all right. So what about this? What if one or two of us stow our weapons with the other guy and then go in and scope the place out, get the lay of the land, and then we can rendezvous back out here and proceed based on whatever we figure out from being inside. That way we don't have any weapons when we approach. We don't risk that particular confrontation. And also, we're kind of breaking up the party here, which is probably a bad thing to do. But if they're looking for nosy individuals, they'd be looking for three of us, not one or two.
Plus, when you guys, as you're in line, you could totally break it up. One guy goes in 10 minutes earlier than the other guy. Like it's, there's multiple ways you could approach that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll hang back and hold the weapons if you want. Because
Well, to do this, and now I'm going to ask the fun question: where are you going to do this so that you're, because you're in a sketchy part of town that you don't know, and I will absolutely roll to to see if
Hopefully.
shit happens to you while they're inside the club. So where would you want to try to hunker down? You know, to with their guns while they're inside, because this might take an hour. You know, it could be 30 minutes, it could be an hour for them to get in, get the lay of the land, etc. So the question is, where would you hunker down? Because any back alley area probably going to work, but I'm definitely going to roll for the average bum that walks by, or who knows if there's a wandering patrol. Like we would just roll for that kind of stuff.
Is there a laundromat? I mean, he could take
that's a
this
good
opportunity
question.
to wash that noodle stain off of his shirt.
Hey, I rolled a 1. There is a laundromat about
See?
2 blocks down.
A little bit of butter there on the collar. No.
Who's got butter on the collar?
Some
You
of that.
saying I'm a sloppy eater there, buddy?
It's a cover. It's a cover.
I gotcha.
So yeah, there's a laundromat a couple blocks down. So I guess what the idea would be to stash the guns in the laundry, or in the
Yeah.
In the washer. And
Right.
then he just hangs out and
Who's got the highest engineering score here?
Why do
I have a plan. A plan is formulating.
I don't have anything invested in engineering, and
Nothing at all.
yeah,
I know a little bit, very little.
Well, I'm wondering if we can't jimmy one of the dryers, leave our weapons stashed in it, and rig it so it looks like it's out of order, so no one messes with it while we're gone, and then all three of us go.
I will give you that if you roll a DC of 20 or better on an engineering roll. I will totally give that to you. And I will make it so that no one fucks with your weapons the whole time you're in the bar. I will give that to you if you roll a DC of 20 or better.
I've got a +3, so is there any way that we can take some kind of
actually, hang on.
Support the other person?
No, doesn't the 20-minute rule apply here? Like if you're, how does that work? Explain that to me again, because we used that last time, didn't we?
We talked about we kind of talked about how you can take 10 or take 20,
Is it a guaranteed success?
Well, if it's something where you could sit down and concentrate and do,
Yeah, but how many people are in this laundromat
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
So, what is the bonuses that you guys have here? Let me take a look here.
Well, it looks like we're both untrained, so our bonuses are based on our.
I'm not just going to give it to you.
Probably not going to be the greatest way to go about it.
Yeah, I'm not just going to give it to you based on that. If you guys had if it was a trained ability with like a +7 or +10 bonus, I could totally see it being a thing where, okay, take 20, you figure it out. But since it's an untrained skill, no.
No, yeah, we don't have like a mechanic or kind of a gadget guy.
Yeah, so that idea is out the window. You won't be able to do that.
Yeah, it's probably not a good plan for us.
So your best option is just leave him with Mujin with Maverick.
Is there a local food place that's like a restaurant or anything like that?
There is a little cantina across the street from the laundromat. Little street stall cantina.
Stay someplace that's fairly public, so if a scuffle does happen, more people.
I mean, there's people there. There's probably half a dozen customers sitting at the booths and stuff. It's like an open bar cantina thing on the street.
Yeah. My thought is stay somewhere open and with a lot of people in case. So if there is trouble, maybe there'll be other people or the guards will step in.
I mean,
that's just my train of thought.
It's wishful thinking.
Because if I'm in a closed off laundromat, then it's a little more set up for a trap.
No, and I think the laundromat would work a lot better for us if one of us was an engineer.
Yeah.
It probably is best that if we do have somebody hang back and hold on to the weapons, that they sit somewhere where it would be normal to sit, the sidewalk facing part of the cafe.
The one
the
thing to do would
cantina.
be, I would say, still you're gonna need to stash your weapons. So the
Yeah.
laundromat idea works for stashing the weapons, especially if you. I'll give it to you that you could like, jimmy the lock on a. It's not hard to screw up the lock on a washing machine so that you can throw your weapons in there and then, screw up the lock so that no one can easily access it, cover it with a blanket or something, and then go across the street and hang out at the bar while you're waiting and just keep an eye on the laundromat if that makes sense. And then when they
I
come
don't
I
back,
mean,
have.
do we
I
need to
don't have
stash?
anything large.
Do we need to stash the weapons?
that's a
if,
good question. What size weapons is everyone carrying?
I got a rifle.
Well,
I don't think.
if you stay behind, Chen's got
Yeah,
how many pistols do you
I
have?
I have one pistol and a handful of grenades and a tactical baton, so everything easily fits in a bag.
In a bag. What about you, Sander?
Yeah, I just have the one semi-auto pistol.
So I mean, theoretically, you could throw it all in a canvas. I mean, does
Yeah,
anybody have a
in theory,
bag on them?
in theory, it would fit in the jacket or whatever that our friend is wearing. I mean, you just stick the gun down in one pocket.
I mean, he's a soldier running around in,
Yeah.
in combat gear anyway. He might just nobody might look twice at a dude who's just strapping
Who's
6
just got
different
more
pistols.
guns.
Yeah,
Right,
he's
yeah.
just,
Yeah,
I'm in a
exactly.
dangerous part of town. What the fuck you looking at?
Yeah, right.
Let's just
Yeah,
roll
he's
with
got-
it. Let's
He's
just
got
roll
the
with it.
beef to pull that off. He can sit there and have some cantina food and
Yeah, just
keep
give
an
him
eye out while we go inside.
just give him all your guns, all your stuff, and he can hang out at the cantina and eat some.
Yeah, I don't think we need to get cute with it since he is dressed like a warrior, right? I mean, he's got
Yeah.
the rifle.
I think it makes
Clearly,
sense.
Yeah,
How far away is this
Two
establishment?
blocks.
That okay, so he's not super close.
No, be a 10-minute walk.
I was just trying to think of how we can get in touch with him if we need backup
Have
or
they
help.
explained if there's comm units? Like, how do the comm units work? Is that something that's explained in the book?
I don't know if we
I have
have
not
any.
come across anything that talked about that at all. I assume it's
haven't
per
either.
adventure or by adventure, but let's see. Starfinder.
That's a good
personal
question. Yeah.
communications? I'm just gonna Google it.
Yeah,
because,
feel free. I mean, that's a good
um,
question.
because it's too specific to try to look it up in the table of contents. I'd be.
Yeah, I didn't
wasting too
even
much
Because
time.
I bet our soldier with some added guns can easily make it past 2 guards if he has to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you drop
personal-
drop out one of your grenades right by him. They might run away.
Yeah.
You
Or drop a grenade over the side of the fence at the back and watch the guy scramble to.
Oh yeah,
try to
12 of
flank
them.
whoever's,
Yeah.
So it says a personal comm unit is a pocket-sized device that combines a minor portable computer, which we treat. It says you treat it as a tier 0 computer with no upgrades or modules, and a cellular communication device via
It's a cell
wireless.
phone.
Yeah, it's a cell phone.
I
says-
imagine we all have them. So.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
totally have. It literally says it also has a calculator, a flashlight, which increases light level 1 step in a 15-foot cone, and entertainment options, including games and access to local infospheres.
It's a cell phone.
It's a cell phone.
Yeah.
It's like an old
Well,
Nokia brick.
We know for sure it's an Android too because,
Okay, so yeah, you guys totally have comm units. So that's an easy, hey man, shit's hit the fan, get over here ASAP, if need be.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up whatever passes for a text or that type of non-verbal message indicator. I'm gonna set that screen up so that I only have to hit 1 or 2 buttons. That I could do it kind of surreptitiously in my pocket or something.
Sure.
If shit really hits the fan, that gets him an information that's kind of a prearranged signal of some kind. That either use your best judgment, but we're in trouble one way or the other. So
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
we should do it both ways in case something happens outside. But
yeah, I think that's.
I
probably
doubt.
good.
I doubt that many people would mess with a armed soldier.
I
but
don't think many,
no.
there obviously may be some local drunks that decide to fuck with you, but we'll play that by ear. I mean, you got enough firepower, it might just be drop a grenade in the bar and run.
I think this is our best choice. I know
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
cardinal "don't break up the party" rule. At a
Yeah,
tabletop
but
game,
but
so,
but
and I
Yeah.
think this is our choice here.
the
I think
DM
this
is
our
totally
way.
not trying to convince you of this, but I think it works. Like,
Yeah,
split
Yeah.
the party,
All
split
right.
the party.
you
split
can
the
always
party,
trust the DM. Yeah.
split the
Yeah.
party. Split the party.
I'm not sure I trust this DM is the thing.
Hey, man.
He does have that kind of a shady look about him.
All right. We're going to share this map, and we're going to drop... Well, we'll
So I
go to
take
the...
it was a guest list situation. We're able to get through since we're unarmed.
Yeah, give me a second here, because we got to do the...
Alright. I just saw the map pop up, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yep. Hang on, because I got to do all this stuff here. Okay, so your characters... Oops, I need to actually clear some of these guys off the... Let me re-add that encounter. And we've got Chen. So you guys going together, or are you going to try to space it out with some other clients, by the way?
I think our best bet is actually to space it out with at least a couple of people between us.
Okay.
We could approach, with that kind of, I don't know, 2 or 3 minute difference. That way, even from the outset, it doesn't look like we came together.
Okay.
What do you think, Chen?
Well, I mean, unarmed. I mean, hang on. This didn't work the way I wanted it to. Yeah, discuss, guys. Sorry, got sidetracked.
The other way we could do is we could make a big deal about being there together, like we're there to celebrate a specific thing.
I think we could probably just go in because we're gonna end up sitting together and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to get split up on the inside, so
All
we
right.
may as well just go in together.
Let's go in. I'll be your wingman.
All right.
See if there's any good looking bugs on the inside.
Do you guys see anything with your characters on the map?
Very tiny. Let me zoom in. I see myself.
Okay, hold on. I gotta.
And I see Chen. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Very. I see that we're outside. We're outside, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're outside.
So you should see the entrance in front of you, and then the guards on either side, right? Okay, perfect. Sorry, I had line of sight turned off, and I had lighting turned off, so I had to trigger those things on the map. I don't know why that was doing that. Okay. All right, you guys are out front. There are a couple of guards here that you've noticed before. They stop you as you are attempting to enter and want to give you a pat down. I'm going to roll. Okay, I rolled a 5 and a 6, which neither one are very good for you guys. So they are going to give you a pat down, and as they're patting you down, I gotta look here real quick. Party sheet. One of the guys is gonna mutter something under his breath about those dirty Lashuntas, and can't believe they're stinking up the place over here again. And as he's patting you down, he's gonna very rudely grope you inappropriately and kind of chuckle to himself.
Hey, sailor, buy me a drink first.
Right. Oh, I rolled a 1. That's actually good for you. He's gonna give you a glare, but other than that, he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, fucking whatever, man." And he's gonna back off, and they're gonna let you go through the door here. So let's go ahead and open up the door.
Well
And
played, sir.
you guys are now. Go ahead and move your movement, please. You can move your maximum amount.
That's it. 25, right? Let's see. No, 30.
Okay. The dimly lit interior of the nightclub is filled with the press of sweaty bodies, a haze of narcotic smoke, and the pounding beat and ululating vocals of baccarang music blaring from the main stage in the northeast corner of the room. A sinuous bar winds around the northwest corner, offering a variety of drinks and drugs for purchase. Booths line the south wall of the club, facing the main stage in the northwest east corner, and the crowded dance floor beneath it. Gyrating dancers stand atop 4 smaller stages scattered around the club, one behind the bar, one in the center of the room, and 2 flanking the main stage. There are wide double doors marked staff only, exiting the room to the west. There's a small room that serves as a coat check, just that you guys just walk past, off here on the left. That's what you see as you walk in.
The top of the screen is north.
I would assume so, yes.
Okay, so
Because
that door there is the staff door.
I'm double
Just to the
checking
left.
here. Hang on. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it is west.
Well, should we belly up to the bar?
Let's do so. And let's belly up to the bar facing west there, about halfway down the bar. I'd like to keep an eye on those doors for a moment while we order, just to see which kind of staff comes in and out, if any.
That's good.
All right, you guys sidle up to the bar. Young human bartender comes up to you. What can I get you, boys?
Well, I'll just order a drink.
Well, yeah, that's what we serve here.
It's like a
Have
whiskey
a,
rum, something like that.
I don't know, some cheap Yosoki liquor.
Ugh, no taste, but okay. What about you?
Do you have
Not a
anything?
safe-
Do you have anything? Something cool, something cold, a beer?
A
Yeah,
beer.
I think I want a beer tonight.
So pedestrian, but copy that. Coming right up. And she sits us off to get you guys your pedestrian drinks.
I feel judged.
You probably are being judged by
Young
a
human bartender.
22-year-old human bartender. Oh. So yeah, she's gonna go get you guys some drinks. Yeah. So you guys are trying to
Hey,
keep an eye
careful.
on that door.
Well, not careful, but just trying to, clandestine, in a clandestine sense, keep an eye on those doors, just to
Yeah,
see if anyone goes in and out and
yeah,
what kind of staff they appear
some
to be.
people do come in and out. It's just staff for the restaurant. You get a glimpse of what's beyond. It looks like a storeroom of some type. I mean, it's hard. You can't really see beyond that. You get a quick glimpse as the door swings open and shut. But it's just mostly normal staff going in and out as they work.
Right. It look like some type of ID scan, or is it just a swinging door type thing, a barroom type thing? In other words, access control. Is it, you know,
I'm actually reading real quick because I don't know that it says. It does not appear that there's any like digital control on the door.
all right? And just one more question. What about right behind the bartender there?
Mhm.
Is that a way for them to disappear in the back as well? Or is that a solid wall there? Where
That's a
there's...
solid wall there.
Okay.
So she'd need to come out from behind the bar and go through the staff entrance. Roll
Gotcha.
perception real quick.
Sure.
2 of you guys.
Oh my God.
Jeez, at least one of you got.
What are your bonuses with perception? Chen?
6, so
So
24.
okay, you get a glimpse, like the 3rd or 4th time that the doors come through, some staff come through. You catch a glimpse of some guys. It's a really quick glimpse. You're not sure how many there are, but you get a glimpse of several guys sitting at a table playing cards in that stockroom, in that storeroom.
Interesting.
And the girl's back with your drinks. One pedestrian beer, which is like so flat but okay, and you wanted, I don't even remember, but here it is. Anything else?
Well, that's it for now.
Little less attitude, maybe.
And I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
So we have dancers, we have music, live music or recorded music, and we have what appears to be some form of gambling in the back, but no gambling in the front here. Is that right? That I can see from the bar.
Hang on 2 seconds here. I got a weird.
Everybody's distracted.
No, I got a message from my sister-in-law. I'm just checking real quick. All right, go ahead. What was your question?
No, I'm just curious. Looks like a little bit of gaming in the back there, a little gambling going on. Any of that out here, or is it just the dancing folk and the live music?
Yeah, this is just like the dancing, the smoke, drinking. There's just club atmosphere out front.
Right. You know, this beer really is flat. Kind of puts me in the mood to start a fight. I'm going to take a look down the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any clearly, is there any interactions going on that look like, some kind of trouble? Or is there anyone that's clearly inebriated, somebody that might be made to appear foolish as a distraction, perhaps?
I mean, there's definitely drunk people around, but I don't think there's anything that specific. It's mostly just couples dancing. You've got lots of people at the bar ordering drinks. There's people in one of the back corners huddled together around a hookah thing and smoking up. I mean, it's I don't know that it's still early enough in the night that no one's appears to be like completely schnockered off their rocker at the moment.
All right. I'm going to sip my drink, face away from the bar, and be on the lookout for these couples that are dancing. Maybe a sign of jealousy or possessiveness that I could use to my advantage.
I mean, yeah, you wait long enough. A couple hours go by, and as the night wears on, after you've been here a couple of hours, there's a trio, couple of girls and a guy, and they're dancing and they're drinking, and another guy comes over and starts trying to dance with one of the girls, and the first guy gets, hey man, what's all, man, that's you can't dance with her. So there's a little bit of a confrontation going on right there.
Okay. And as that conversation continues, I'm going to look for an opportunity to, I'm going to use my psychokinetic hand to goose one of the members of this confrontation in such a way as to where they feel like they might be being approached in some way that's untoward. I'm looking for some type of opportunity to, give a flick or a goose that might be blamed on the one or the other party. Do I see anything at all like that?
Well, I mean, they're already sort of getting into it with each other. Like the one guy shoved the other guy and was like, "Get your hands off my girl." So what would be the intent to escalate that? Because if they're already hands on with each other,
Yeah,
They're over on the
I
dance
suppose
floor.
I can hope that it's going to escalate enough to cause enough of a distraction that we get most of the eyes on that particular scuffle and possibly create an opening where one of us can get a better look at what's going on in the back room there.
oh well, I'll give that to you guys now because this is gonna go down. They're gonna create a big enough of a scuffle that the girl who was the bartender is gonna reach behind her and she's gonna hit a little button on the wall that's back there with like the cash register, not the cash register, but I'm thinking cash register. This is a digital world, right? The scanner and everything else for there's a row of buttons, and she pushes a button, and within about 90 seconds, like 3 big burly dudes come out of that back room, and head out across the dance floor, and they're pushing people out of the way, and there's no questions asked. They literally just walk up, grab the 2 dudes, and they're dragging them out to the front door. Like there's no questions asked. It's just you're causing a ruckus, and they are taking them out, pushing them out the
I'm
front
gonna
door.
see if I can't get a peek
All right, roll a perception.
while they're busy doing their thing.
Yep.
Ooh, a 20. It's
Double checking a couple things here. So you kind of, as these guys came out, you kind of you're sitting towards the edge of the bar anyway, and you'd kind of sidle up to the door, and maybe not quite that close. Let's pull you back a little bit, maybe back towards the corner here. But you kind of sidled around the corners, kind of casually hanging out. These 3 guys breezed past, and as the door opens, you can kind of cast a glimpse inside. The table's empty at the moment, so it's just the 3 of them that were inside at that table where they were playing cards or whatever. So I'll give you since you rolled a 20 on that. Nobody at the table at the moment.
Any other obvious exits from that room that we can see from that angle?
Yeah, there's a single. Actually, can you see it from here? Hold up a minute. I don't know that you can see it from here, so double checking here. No, yeah, you can't see any exits or entries. You just see a storeroom basically. There's bottles of hard alcohol, kegs of beer, boxes of food. Looks like some amplifiers and musical instruments, costumes. That's about what you get at a quick glimpse before the door shuts again. And then as you're watching this happen, the 2 are taking the guys out towards the front entrance. The 3rd guy realizes he's not needed, and he makes his way back to this door, and kind of, let's see if he does anything to you as he's walking by. No, you're good. He just kind of glances at you, walks up to the door, and then kind of turns around and leans back in the bar and waits for his 2 buddies to finish throwing these dudes out, and then the 3 of them go back into the storeroom.
So costumes, storage room, musical instruments. I don't know if it goes any further than that, but the 2 fighters were ejected.
Yep.
And the festivities
Continue onwards.
continue. Is there another exit from this room here, like a stage exit or restrooms?
Yeah, it doesn't
anything
appear
like
to
that?
be, no.
No restrooms.
I mean, I can throw some in here. There doesn't appear to be any on the map, but
Doesn't appear to be on the map. All
yeah.
right. What about at the tables that are across from the bar there? Anyone of note? Can I do a perception check and see if I
Sure.
spot anyone interesting, something that might move the story along a little bit? No?
I mean, no, it's just your typical dance party scene at this point. Mix of different races and everything else. Perhaps, let me roll a dice here. As you're watching this happen, a group of 4 guys come in. No questions asked. They just walk straight up to that storeroom door and go through. Tough looking dudes, 4 of them. Got a Yosoki. I say dudes, but yeah, let's say there's an Asoki, a couple of humans, and there were cyborgs, right? I forget if there were cyborgs or androids.
There are.
And an android go walking through and go past those doors into the storeroom. No questions asked. They just go in. By the way,
Well, that makes
now-
7 back there, so I don't imagine the 2 of us are going to get the same treatment if we move through the door, no questions asked.
I just rolled a 2, so nothing's happening to our soldier boy back in the bar at the moment. He's chugging flavorless noodles.
Anyone around here in this place dressed in a way that is reminiscent of the fighters for this group, the Downside Kings?
No, not
Anyone-
on the dance floor. No, the guys
Not
who
on
just
the
came
dance
in and
floor.
went, yeah, but not on the dance floor.
Okay. And none of those guys looked familiar, like the guys that took off after the fight was over, the ones that survived?
That's a very good question. Roll a perception, you and Chin.
I'll throw these dice out. These dice have let me down. They failed.
Oh, it went off the table.
Fuck.
I didn't think you could throw these dice off the table.
I mean, Chin, maybe one of those guys looked familiar, but it wasn't. You didn't get a good enough glimpse to really confirm. It was like might, could be, maybe it was that Soki. Like, yeah.
Well, it was pretty easy to get in and out of here. We just had to leave our weapons behind.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hate
know
to
how
say
long.
it, but I don't think that there's a path forward here for us without tipping our hand to these folks. And there's an awful lot of muscle here for the 2 of us, especially unarmed.
Maybe mind trick one of them? Or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really have abilities like that per se. You know, I can talk to the dead momentarily. You know, I can telekinetically hurl an object, so I can take a beer glass that's in front of a drunk and toss it down the bar and make a scene with it. But
You can't make something happen in that storeroom to make them charge back out so you get a better look. Or throw something out the door that's not obviously thrown by you.
We
I'm
could
just-
maybe come back with a delivery, or we could follow the guys when they leave.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out, how does detect thoughts work?
I think it's actually considered a spell.
Well, yeah, it is. It's one of my little one spells, actually. When the bartender signaled for the guys to come out, and she tapped something on her console there or whatever.
Mhm.
Is it obvious what she tapped? I mean, is it a big red panic button?
Roll a perception. Let's see if you notice which button. There's an array of buttons along with all the keypads and stuff. Yep, you can point out the one that she pushed.
Can you?
I'm reading through the detect thoughts thing here real quick.
It looks like at level 1 you can only detect if there's thoughts or not.
Yeah, it sounds
Right.
like
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that's the general consensus that I'm picking up here too.
Would you maybe try to telekinetically push the button to see what is?
I might get away with that, but my thing is, so what are we trying to accomplish by getting them back out here again? Get a better look at them to see if we can identify one of them as a member of the group that was on the docks. Because what they're going to do is they're going to come out, they're going to notice nothing's going on, they're going to turn right back around and go inside. I mean, it's a strategy. It's just I don't have like an end game for that. Like what? This place reeks of a much higher level security than a couple of unarmed guys can muster
Yeah.
against it.
Which does point towards the fact that this is definitely, you know, HQ or an operation for the club. The
We
the
need to either follow somebody or
Right.
there's not much we can do here.
Yeah, because the clientele that you're seeing here are just normal people. Like
Yeah.
and I mean, you can question them obviously if you want to and figure out if they know anything, but it just looks like normal club
Yeah, that
people.
doesn't seem like a good way to go for me
I mean, it
anyway.
could be one of those situations where the club is a front and nobody might know any better. And there might be employees on staff who know things, but whether or not they're going to divulge those to you in this state is another thing. Like you said, you can attempt to follow guys when they leave. Um, the delivery options on the table as well. That would require some planning, and also you're going to need a legitimate delivery to bring to the place. Plus,
Right.
there was like 12 guys back there. So that would be another situation where no weapons involved. You're making a legitimate delivery. Trying to get inside to get info on things. I mean, lots of options, but I would think that at least based on the current situation, firepower is, doing some sort of
Yeah, no,
confrontation.
that seems direct confrontation seems out of the question. On the other hand, we know this is a base of operations for this group, and we know that we have to some extent, move through this group to get more information about the death of our friend Creel, and potentially about this the nature of the business between them and the astral
Well,
extraction.
as you guys are, it's getting later here. You guys are discussing the four guys who went
Let's
in earlier they're coming out and they're leaving the premises.
I think that's our cue. Let's hang back but see where they go.
Okay. So you're going to follow them out. They're going to head out to
Yep.
front, and as they get out to the alleyway, they're going to hang a left, go out to the end of the street. There is a hover car waiting for them, and they're into the car and off.
Anything unusual or interesting about the hover car? Any details that I can jot down?
Unmarked, tinted windows, definitely not, a civilian car.
Relatively fancy.
Yeah. Definitely
Yeah.
mafia type.
Let's rendezvous with Maverick.
Okay.
Fill him in on everything that we've discovered. I think I hate to admit it, but I think our best bet might just be to approach this from the other direction. If we want to make a delivery to this place of some kind, we need to find out more about the nature of their relationship with the corporate side of this.
I think that's honestly your two options at this point are either going to be that, or you go back with Maverick, guns blazing, and you say, you know what, we don't care about the guys at the front. Pew pew. The question is, you don't know how many more guys are inside because you only saw three at the table inside, but you don't know what else is beyond that storeroom. And there's yeah, with I would say that it's one of those situations where there's always a chance, but there's also always the risk. And you know, a confrontation when you're in the middle of an investigation mode, like you said, it's a better bet would be to try to find a non-confrontational manner to resolve it if you can
Yeah, and
first.
the other thing I'm concerned with, if we just run back inside and go guns blazing with Maverick while those other four are gone, we've still got an unknown number of guys in the back
Civilians
loading
too,
dock, plus the civilians, and
and your
I'm not
faces will
as
be everywhere.
we'll probably be on TV.
Right, that's the thing. Like you maybe got caught. So yeah, there's lots of things to consider. I will say, because we need to level up the characters, this is a good stopping point for the adventure. That way we can offline. We'll go ahead and level up the characters tonight because you guys did earn enough experience points. But I didn't want to do that on stream because I don't actually know how we level up our characters tonight. But as far as the adventure goes, I think this is a good stopping point. And then
Okay.
we can think about leading up to next week. How
Our angle of approach.
Yeah, your angle of approach to actually figure out how you're going to make a delivery and so on and so forth, and go from there. But this way we can take a quick bio, level up our characters, and then be ready for next week. So
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
For
Let's
everybody
do it.
else following along, thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. Assuming no hiccups, last week we had a snowstorm, which caught Shen by surprise, and he was unable to be here, so we skipped last week. But we are trying to do these on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 2 to 3 hours each time, assuming no hiccups and interruptions. Sometimes my power is going to go out, like it did 3 weeks ago. Otherwise, we'll try to be here every Wednesday night. So thanks to those of you who tune in for the live sessions of the actual play. This time there were no major technical hiccups, so I shouldn't need to cut a different version of this together for people. So watch the replay, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Thanks for the re-ups on the memberships, and those of you who want to support, you always can with super chats during these live streams. That goes towards the goals below. You can also check out the Patreon page, memberships, all those good things here, all the stuff. Do any of you guys, I know Mujin has a YouTube channel, which I promote, and our Star Wars Hero to Public stuff, but do either one of you guys have any social media stuff that you want to promote, Jen and Lysandra, or no?
Not this
If you
time.
don't have any you want to promote, I was a random
no.
question.
Nothing
No!
that's active right now.
I've got an
No.
actual project I've been working on for a while, but maybe at the end of this whole Let's Play stuff,
Okay.
I'll pass that to you, and you can
Sure.
put it in the description or whatever.
And I'm going to pressure you to, I know you said not until like May or something, but I'm going to pressure you to do Pathfinder so that I can be a player.
Hell
and
yeah.
not
I
have
would love to.
and I would love to learn Pathfinder. So we'll be talking about that more in the future. So.
But let's have, I want to have a little bit of a discussion after we
Sure.
wrap this up for the viewing audience and stuff as far as our approach on this one, because I've got a couple questions, but they're more, I think, meta, and I don't want to approach it as like in character. So.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll be back again next week, same time, same place. Until next time, stay safe, happy gaming, and everybody have a good weekend as we head into the last part of this week.